Hello everyone, this is Prasad and my teammate is Shavanti. We are doing this project as a part of web programming in Georgia State University. This is our final project. So this is our game. Our game title is Game of Life. So we will just look into the objective of this game. The game of life is a grid of cells where each cell is in the state of being alive or not. The next generation of game depends on the current generation and the current generation. So let's look at the rules of the game. The game consists of a grid of cells, each of which can alive or dead. For every cycle of the game, the cells can be turned on or off based on the following rules. So here are some of the brief rules about the game. Any live cell with fewer than two live neighbors dies, as if caused by underpopulation. Any live cell with more than three live neighbors dies, as if by overcrowding. So underpopulation and overcrowding are the two main criteria we have considered during this project. A live cell with two or three live neighbors lives on the next generation. Any dead cell with exactly three neighbors becomes a live cell. If a dead cell has exactly three neighbors, it becomes two. If a live cell has less than two neighbors, it dies. If a live cell has more than three neighbors, it dies. So here are these dying conditions of the cell. If a cell has two or three neighbors, it continues living life. Therefore, repeating the cycle over and over, these simple rules create interesting, often unpredicted patterns. And now we'll just look into the design specification. So we have created a variable size table. The background color of the cell will determine the life. If it is white, that is alive. If it is black, it is dead cell. So the cell can be turned on or turned off with the mouse. See, if you click on the cell, it's changing its color, displaying the current position and generation values. You can observe that we have generated the generation and population score down, and we have also created a few buttons. First one is a start the game, and the next one is stop the game, which will automatically halt the game. And the next button is increment the generation by 1 unit, and the next button is increment the population generation by 23 units. So we also have an option to set and reset the game. So we have also created a pattern drop down which will show the grid size. We have given the user face for the user to select the required grid size. So my teammate Shanti will continue the next part of the project.
Yes, hi everyone. So let me explain the exact code which we are using here. This is the basic HTML page, which includes a h1 tag, and this is a drop down, and this is a table with the cells, and all of these are buttons. So let us look into the code. This is a HTML code, which I explained you the title, the heading, and this is the drop down. This comes to the buttons. In between, this is the grid. So here we have created a div class and then mentioned it into a table with rows, columns. If you are looking here, we have two files apart from this HTML. One is CSS, another one is a JavaScript. In the CSS file, we have mentioned about the design patterns, the design which we are using here for the color of the background, for the headings, the text color, text alignment, everything we have mentioned in the CSS file. So the first one is the body tag, which goes for the whole body, the whole thing. That includes the background and then the background color and size. And next we have the h1 tag, which has the title of the game, h3 tag for the buttons we used here, about the buttons and in the buttons. Then for when we have seen, each cell has to be focused that when you are selecting. This is called hover and focus. So we are given focus here, input focus, button focus, like when you are highlighting to a button. This comes to the hover tag, the action. As mentioned here, every cell has to be changing. Like you click and unclick, the color has to change. So this is the action button where the color will be changing from white to black. If the action button is active, then it changes the color, and if it is inactive, it stays into a white color. So this is the initial table with cells. The design for the CSS code is here for the table, and this is for the column. As I mentioned, every cell has the hover, and this is the thing. This is the CSS code. Now, as you know, here we have the exact code to happen, like as mentioned in the requirement. First thing is start. Initially, as we didn't click any cell, there's nothing to get started. So let me click on 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then it will start. As mentioned, a cell will be alive if it is consisting of 2 or 3 live cells around it. As you have seen, this cell has a 3. See, this is what happens, and you see, as it is started, generation is increasing. Let me stop it. This is like generations. The first generation will be the head section or something like parent section, and next generations will be the children sections of the parent section. So let me reset it, and let me show you the code for this the JavaScript code for this. So initially, whatever it is, like this is the initialization of the grid. It is set to the inbuilt values, and next, if you are running the code, we select the particular grid element, and this part goes to that. Clean game element is something like which disappears if the cell around the live cell is dead, then automatically the cell which is empty will also be die, something like this. So when you start it, it dies. That's what happens. And next, this is function start for the button, and this is for function stop, sorry, and this is for tick. Like it just ticks for 20 seconds whenever you're clicking, whenever you're giving some cells and you start it just lies for 20 seconds and dies. And if you start seeing, this is a change state of the table from black to white and white to black. And this is the exact step count. If you had seen here, this increment, how this increment happens is one increment goes with one generation, and increment of 23 goes with 23 generations. This whole code goes into that. Random population, this is the final thing here. Random population is nothing but here we use a random function. So this is an inbuilt function in JavaScript where a random number like with decimals is generated, and then we take it initially, like in order to change it into integer value, we multiply that particular random number with the table size and then convert it into a normal integer using math flow function. So this is with the random function reset, which helps in restarting the game. Like everything is set to false, it's obviously equal to stop. And this is a calculation of population. The number of live cells gives the count of population here, and this is update count. It represents whenever you start, it goes with this. Whenever you stop and you remove this, the population count gets to 0. This is our game. Thank you.